Good morning, it's 7:18 a.m. I'm out of the gym, down the street from the house, coming home, jumping in the shower, making my breakfast, my second meal, and even packing my lunch. It's gonna be a good day. Today is our Truth About Marketing lunch and learn at 12:30. We have Santa Ana coming over. It's gonna be a crazy day. It's gonna be a good day. The kind of crazy days that I enjoy, the kind of crazy days I like, the kind of crazy days I thrive for. The reason why we're held back from doing what we want to do is because of what people think about what we do. Hey, you want to grow your YouTube channel, you want to grow your Instagram, we'll want you to document the journey. Hey, just so you know, JJ and everybody upstairs isn't going to come.
Why?
Everybody upstairs? We invited them, but we
They're just too busy.
They're just too busy.
They're gonna come on the next session.
Somebody's got to be working while we're at the lunch and learn. What up, guys? Gotta have the camera on at all times. What up, bro?
Camera on all the time?
Hell yeah.
I didn't find no waiver.
Why are you cutting them?
Because you have to save turtles and birds. Because it goes near the ocean and then it gets stuck on the turtle's neck and they suffocate.
So basically, whenever you buy a pack of soda and it comes with that plastic, you have to what?
Rip it.
You have to rip it. Hey everyone, so it's 12:47. We're gonna get started on today's Truth About Lending lunch and learn. Check this out. Hey, all right, everybody say hi. Everybody say hi. You say hi. All right, cool. All right, so, all right. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you everybody for taking time out of your day to come and learn the truth about marketing. Okay. I'm Juan Torres.
Nice meeting
you. Thank you very much.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there a truth about marketing?
That's a very good question. All right. So the truth about marketing. Who wants to hear it? All right. Okay. All right. So the truth about marketing is that it's very, very, very important nowadays, right? The truth about marketing is that we're all good enough to do video marketing. The truth about marketing is that it's very important, if not it's imperative, that we start video marketing, right? Anybody know Zillow? Redfin? All right. And so here's what's going on right now, right? By the way, you guys watch our YouTube channel? Yeah,
yes.
YouTube videos? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys follow us on Instagram, Facebook?
First time here, so I
Okay.
don't know you.
Okay. Well, we just got like 30 minutes ago.
So you're new to me.
Okay, all right.
After today, then you become part of my life.
Yeah.
Yes,
There you go. I like that. Very good. So what's Zillow? Right? What's Zillow?
It's a website.
It's
a
a marketing
website.
platform.
Bam.
There you go.
That's exactly what it is. It's a marketing platform, right? But if you ask the consumer what Zillow is, what are they going to say?
A website where you search for homes.
Right? They sell houses, right? What about Redfin? What's Redfin?
Another marketing platform.
Right. Similar.
Same thing.
So very similar. Here's the thing. There you go. Here's the thing about Redfin. The Redfin was actually a real estate company, right? At one point, and a technology company came in and they bought it, right? So, but they invested a ton of money on advertising, right? Amazon. Anybody know what Amazon is?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right? So here's what happened. About a week ago, we went to a seminar out in North Carolina about marketing, right? So, and I wanted to go to this seminar because I'm like, okay, you know what? We're doing this whole YouTube stuff. We're doing Facebook. We're doing Instagram. Like, okay, well, I wanted validation, right? Kind of wanted to get co-signed on what we're doing, right? And exactly what we're doing is exactly what they suggested or what that seminar was about. So I said, you know what, do it. All right, it's time. I'm gonna come back here and we're gonna bring it back to the agents that we work with, okay? So you've got Zillow and you've got Redfin, right? The reason why Zillow is a marketing platform. The reason why Redfin is so popular is because the truth of the matter is that they invested a ton of money on advertising, right? A long time ago. Same thing with Amazon, right? So Amazon, the reason why we know them so much is because 10 years ago, the inception of the internet, or like Google, right? They invested a lot of money on promoting themselves on Google. So you would search for, I don't know, cameras or a lawnmower, right? And the first thing that would come up was a lawnmower under Amazon, right? So I don't know about you guys, but I typically, for the most part, click on the first thing that pops up on my Google search, right? And the crazy thing is, like, everything's manipulated nowadays,
Algorithms.
right? Algorithms, right? We were with the group a couple of minutes ago, #1 office in Santa Ana. It's a big RE/MAX. We're an in-house lender for them. And they get a lot of, they do about 400 transactions a year, right? And about 99% of the business comes from Zillow, right? Here's what happens. Whenever they click on their profile, right? From that point on, the only thing that's gonna come up on their browser is gonna be RE/MAX from Santa Ana. RE/MAX from Santa Ana. So that's a combination of a couple of things. It's a combination of of technology and the internet, right? So the reason why I'm having this is because I truly believe that video marketing, or any type of marketing online, is very, very important, right? And I'm here to give you the tools. About 3-4 months ago, we hired this gentleman that was, it's crazy the way things happen, right? I truly believe that you attract that, right? So we had a previous marketing guy, he's doing a great job, and he put in his 2-week notice. And I said, okay, well, shit, what are we gonna do now, right? And I'm pretty big on marketing. I not only do I like carrying a camera in front of my face, right? but I enjoy it. So I bought my first camera about like 8 years ago, when my first born was gonna be born, right? Because I wanted to capture everything. But then I said, okay, well, how can I implement this in my business? And I didn't hire my first videographer or my first marketing guy until like a year ago, okay? So, I mean, that just goes to show you how committed I am to investing in my business and investing in that side of the business. So, when that guy gave me his 2-week notice, I said, shit, what am I gonna do, right? I said, okay, cool, dude, well, look, start interviewing other people, help me find somebody for that position. So sure enough, we put up an ad, and some gentleman by the name of John submitted his application. The previous guy interviewed him, he liked him, he told me about him. I said, dude, if you like him, if you think he's a good match, go for it. This guy, okay, this is how committed to his craft he is, and to his how much he believes in himself. He moved from Michigan to California without a whole lot of money in his bank account, right? Not a whole lot of belongings. He said, not a job. He didn't have a job yet, job secured, right? So he just, the hell with it. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make movies in Hollywood or LA, right? So we came across him and we hired him. And everything that you see on the internet or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, like this gentleman does. So he's gonna go ahead and put on this presentation for you guys on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's very important, right? And we need to start doing this, right? To take us to the next level and to get new business, or even stay in front of all of your guys' clients, okay? Right. So without further ado, I want to welcome Mr. JJ. JJ. So
Cool.
welcome to SoCal.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we were expecting someone more older, more, you know what I mean?
You know, it's the younger generation's taking over. Watch out.
That's very true. It's all about the millennials. Very true. Technology. Yeah. Pretty soon we ain't gonna be walking anymore.
Juan made a really good point in the fact that you know, marketing has always been around. It's been around since ancient times in one way or another. But with the inception of the internet and how technology is advancing and things are becoming really easy and really accessible for the average person, or you and I to do ourselves. So yeah, I think marketing right now is something that we all need to jump into and at least start to get familiar with and take seriously. So I titled this Do It Again and Do It Better. And I think that's a cool title. So let's get it right into it. Does anybody know what marketing is?
Sure.
Anybody can give me an example, a definition? You don't need to raise your hand.
A place where you can advertise your services.
Absolutely. That's absolutely true. The problem with a lot of professionals right now is that they take marketing and they put it in a really small category, like it's Facebook or it's print ads, but really it encompasses everything that you do to advertise and to spread the word about your business. So it's a really big thing. I'm going to start with Instagram because it's my favorite. And it's one thing that I think is a really easy way to get in front of a lot of people. Let's start from the basics. Actually, by show of hands, if you don't mind, who has an Instagram account? So pretty much everybody getting on there. So we're going to start with the bare bones here. First thing is to just make your account. And one word of advice would be to switch your personal account to a business account. The only real reason for this is when you have a business account, the app actually provides free and easy to understand statistics on your viewers and you can promote different things. So make it a business account. Start posting. Start small. You can post every single day. We were having a conversation earlier where it's not always about being the best at something, it's just experiencing it and getting familiar with it. And then as you start to do that, you can start to understand what's working and do more of that, and then take what isn't working and just cut it out completely. So when you start your Instagram profile, you're going to want to make sure that all your information in your biography is really clean and has everything you need. For a lot of people in our industry, they need licensing information. That's a good thing to put right up at the top. And I just put my friend's company over here, Evil Queen, because it's just an example how you can take pretty much anything. And in the first sentence, it says, homemade vegan candles with attitude. It's pretty much all you need to know about our company if you get into that. All right, so moving into the types of posts that you can do. Your main post could be a photo or a video under 60 seconds. Actually, I'm going to back up. I'm going to slow down. Talk really fast. The algorithm. Has everybody heard of the algorithm? Whatever mysterious
what is
thing.
An algorithm?
Exactly.
So the algorithm is kind of important, but I challenge you not to worry too much about it. These best practices that I'm going to show you are ways that work with the algorithm, and because it changes so much, it's just going to take re-educating yourself over time to get better at that. But that being said, the best way to utilize and make it effective with the algorithm is to post a square photo or a vertical photo. The horizontal aspect ratio isn't favorable to the algorithm.
Isn't?
Is not.
Is not.
Another type of post that is so underused in a lot of professionals' accounts is the story. The story is an amazing thing to utilize because if you see on the app, all the stories are at the very top. And the newest stories get populated in the front. So if you're putting out stories throughout the day, your account gets exposed to pretty much everybody above everyone else's. That being said, I like to limit mine to around 10 just to not overwhelm the people. Another thing I'll get into later is Instagram Live. Huge, awesome thing. IGTV. So if you have content, video content in particular, that's over a minute long, not everything needs to be 5 seconds. Instagram TV is a great place to show that content, and it's also really personable because it utilizes a vertical video. The easiest way to describe that is just use your phone. Take a video, it's genuine, it's not over edited, and it really shows the people who you are. Hashtags. Who's afraid of hashtags? I am, because they're crazy. So how do you use a hashtag? Well, there's a lot of speculation on do I use just a couple or can I use a million? I don't know, guys. I just don't. But what I do know is that you want your hashtags to relate to the post. There's nothing more annoying than going through and actually looking for something and then just seeing random stuff that doesn't apply. Find a set that works for you. If you're making similar posts frequently, maybe just take a note app on your phone and record all the good hashtags you can copy and paste to every post. This is another algorithm trick. Make sure your hashtags are in the post and not in the comment section below. The algorithm doesn't favor that. And then this one's huge. Some big, some small. Now the examples I have up here, hashtag real estate has like millions of examples. Now on one hand, yeah, you can reach more people potentially, but there's so much populating that hashtag that you're gonna get lost in the mix, or chances are you will. So you wanna mix it up with hashtag loan officer life. Maybe just a couple thousand people have posted something like that. And even going as small as hashtag Granada Hills Mortgage. There's only 20 of those and they're all me. So now that we know how to get started, now that we know how to use it, let's talk about some best practices. Don't sell anything. This is a weird one that is really hard to get used to, but I think the whole call to action buy now is a little outdated. We want the consumer to think, I guess in a weird way to say it, but think that they're making all these decisions themselves. So don't say buy now, don't say call me today, just tell them that you can call them and you can buy. Give, give, give. Any chance that you have to provide value to the people, to your audience, do it. If you're at an open house or something particularly awesome or interesting, capture it, share it. Now, positive vibes only. This doesn't mean that everything has to always be great, because that is not real life and we all know that. But if you're on social media, you're on there to engage and to be inspired and to just kind of hang out. You don't want to see, oh, I had a crappy day today, because that just kind of brings you down. Let's spin it to something positive. My car broke down today, but now I know that I found a much better tire place and now I know I'm covered for this much longer. Just some way to extend positivity. And ultimately, just some word of advice, don't stress the numbers. I always talk about, and I guess I haven't even brought it up yet, but a core audience. The stronger the relationship you have with the people who are following you, and this goes for any social media, the more engagement you're going to get from them. It's not all about the numbers sometimes. So now that we know all this great stuff, how do we grow? How do we take our 200, 300, 400, 1,000 followers or subscribers or interested people, and how do we expand that? Engagement is huge. We talk about the algorithm, we talk about best practices. All these sites, really what they're doing is, it's not a popularity contest. They optimize your experience every single time you log on to you and only you. And the way that they get content in front of you is by how much engagement that piece of content has. Things that I guess weigh, or like they count more for engagement on both Instagram and Facebook actually, is commenting. Comment on people's posts, not just like a thumbs up emoji, 'cause no one really likes those, but just say something meaningful. It could be really easy. Hey, awesome car. Where'd you get it? I don't know. Ask questions. If someone comments on your post, don't just say thanks or don't give them a winky face. Like, you can put that in there, but then also say, if they say, hey, that's a really nice photo, say thank you very much. I notice your photos are cool too. What kind of camera do you use? Bam. Now there's a conversation. Now your comments are getting flooded and your engagement's boosting. Direct messages, the only thing I don't like to see, and this just comes from a consumer standpoint, is when someone messages me out of nowhere and asks me to do something. I engage so much more with people who simply, hey, I like your pictures. Thank you, I do too. And now we have a conversation. Collaboration is huge. We work in an industry that is not scarce of people. We have a lot of people, friends, colleagues, and peers that we're able to do things with. So any chance you get to invite your friend or your boss or someone you're working with to tag them in something, or you can both share a similar thing, do it. Micro-influencers, that's someone with between like 1 and 5,000 followers. That's a really good way to kind of capitalize on their success, is maybe doing something with them. Instagram Live, this works for Facebook too. It's amazing. So when you go live, I had the photo up earlier, but the place where all your stories are at top, if you are live, your little picture goes in front of everybody the whole time. It's great. You can invite people to go live with you, and that's a huge way to share things with other people. And then this one's really great. I need everyone to do a favor. Can you take out your cell phones, please, and take a picture of me? It doesn't have to be right this very second. and it doesn't have to be pretty. I know how good I look. I'm comfortable with that. So this is a great way. Contests are a great way to grow your account and to also collaborate. So for this particular contest, I can challenge you to take a photo of me presenting up here, to post it to your Instagram, tag JT's lending team, and then even if you want, I have my little Instagram thing down here as my name. That's not nearly as important though. So tag us, and then in your post put hashtag JTLT marketing. That's the hashtag that I just made up today. There's only like 3 posts, and that was all the posts that I made, and it's a great way to choose a winner. So
Say it again.
hashtag JTLT marketing. And then we will choose a winner. I don't remember what the prize was. It's probably
something special for you guys. So we'll talk about that towards the end.
Yeah.
And then what's the other hashtag?
Oh, that's just
one?
Yeah, that's good.
And then tag you, right?
Yeah, and you can be creative with this. You can say tag a friend in the comments or follow me and this person when you're doing a collaborative contest. It's huge for growth. And this is just one that I actually saw yesterday. It's a modeling agency teamed up with some famous model, and says they tagged them in the post and said we'll announce a new winner every day this week, which is just huge. I won't get into this, but I would strongly suggest taking some time, maybe like a good half a day or a day, and just do some research on how Facebook and Instagram ads work, because you can really narrow down your audience and get a lot of good information from that. So my golden rule for all social media really is to be yourself. People usually aren't attracted to these characters. Now that people share more of their lives, it becomes much easier to see what's fake and what's real. So moving forward, everything that you put on social media and when you're doing these marketing efforts online, it has to have some sort of meaning or message or value to give to the consumer. How do you find it? Well, we went to North Carolina for the Housing Wires event, Engage Marketing. So I'm going to just totally copy off of some of the things they were saying because it's really good information. And just things to inspire you to create a message is, first of all, just start creating. That is the number one thing. Start and you'll get the hang of it pretty quick. Create part 2. If you're creating many different kinds of content, specifically like maybe video content or longer things, you can chop it all up and redistribute it into various platforms such as a blog, copy on your Twitter, pretty much anything. Curate. I'm not a fan of screenshots. I'm a quality guy, so I can always tell when you screenshot, but there are a lot of apps that you can get on your phone where you can repost someone else's stuff. And that doesn't mean you're stealing it. It just means that you're sharing it and you're also benefiting from whatever awesome idea that they had. Copy. If you find something that works really well, whether you're doing it or someone else is doing it, copy that. Do exactly that. It doesn't mean plagiarize, but you can kind of take a lot of different like good working things and do it for yourself. And then coach. Like, this information is not a secret. And the more you engage with people and create a sense of community, the better it's going to be in the long run. So what now? You know, the funny thing is, I actually don't know what the next slide is, so we're all on the same page here. Where do we go with all this stuff? So yes, this stuff takes time. It takes a lot of time to get familiar with the best practices and to really just be comfortable, because not everybody loves sharing pictures of themselves or is comfortable talking to millions of potential strangers. It takes practice. It takes failure. Don't be afraid of a post, because chances are someone who sees it may not even notice it. Or if they do notice it, it's not like they're going to hate on it. Like, how many times a day are you sitting on there going, "Oh, that's so ugly"? I mean, maybe you do, but I don't. And then at the end of the day, it takes evaluation. Learn from your mistakes or learn from the things that don't work, and that's the way you improve. Educate yourself. Watch YouTube videos. Attend more events like this. Ask for feedback from your friends. Your family is the best and worst people to give you advice. I'm sure you know that. Spend some money. Advertising, seminars, classes, like whatever it needs to be, hiring someone like me who does know things already, so maybe you don't need to take as much time. Marketing has never been cheap and it's never been free. So I'm going to fly through these because I know this is kind of going over time here, but here's some pro tips, and I'll touch on the different social medias and a couple things. These are things that if you're already into the marketing, you're already making stuff, here's some things that can make it just a little bit better. So when you're looking at Instagram, it's very image dominant for a lot of people. Adobe Lightroom is like my favorite thing for photography. It helps you organize and edit pictures. It's pretty easy and it's not that expensive. Basic photography principles. When you're doing something that has pictures in it, you don't need to be a professional, but something like the rule of thirds or learning about symmetry, those things can just, like a good photo is always going to stand out above a bad one. And then the only don't use filters thing, what I mean by that is if every single photo of yourself on your Instagram or your Facebook has a Snapchat filter, like people are buying houses. It's a very serious thing. So they want to know what you look like. They want to know the actual you. And that's just, you'd be surprised. You would be surprised. Facebook, here's something that Facebook is really, really good at is all about community. If you're in something like real estate or any other type of niche business where you can create a group and gather people, whether it be the consumers themselves or the industry professionals that you associate yourself with, make groups, bring people together. And it's just a really good way to both network and to just be with like-minded people, and it's very low effort. Again, check out advertising. Not nearly enough time to go into that today. I always say Facebook is like the new website. People just kind of are always on it. So make sure that it's clean and your contact info is really easy. And then testimonials goes back to the community. If you have a chance to get an opinion from someone you've worked with, throw it on Facebook, tag them. People love to share when they are involved in someone else's story because they can make it their own. So testimonials, great. YouTube. So consistency is good. The stay in your quality lane thing, that only means like if you have footage that doesn't look that good, don't try to make it look better than it is or try to add fancy music or transitions. Just keep it simple, keep it regular, and people will perceive it as genuine. And then make sure you're attractive and not deceiving titles. You utilize the tags. And then just in general, and I'm going to do a video about this really soon, but how to improve your video content, look at the very, very small things. Lighting, audio is huge. If no one can hear what you're saying, then you got to fix that. And framing, make sure that whatever's in the frame just looks kind of natural. Website. So websites are not obsolete. And if you're an entrepreneur or self-employed, or if you have your own website, it needs to work perfectly. A lot of people, they make one and then they just assume that it always works. I don't know how or why, but sometimes it doesn't. So check your websites. If you do own your own website, Squarespace, and there's many other platforms you can do it. Squarespace is a really good way to make your own. You can actually make something that drops down right when they go to your homepage, and they can put in their email address. Great for newsletters, all kinds of stuff. And then I'm just a huge fan of, I need to be able to contact you effortlessly. So contact information, really good. Twitter, simple. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of business use. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna see a whole lot of return from that. So I say keep it personal, and also it's a good place to share news because Twitter is like today's real-time news from everybody. LinkedIn, make one. It's really great. It's a great place to connect with people that you that are in your industry, and make sure you got a great picture too. And if you need one, hit me up. So I won't get too into detail with this, but it takes action to start, but then you should have a plan at some point. If you want to know what your goals are, you want to know who your audience is, you want to know how you're going to reach them, and then make sure you set realistic goals for yourself. You don't need to be, famous. No one needs to be famous. We're just trying to promote our business. Hey, I'm done. Does anybody have any questions?
Great information.
Thanks. Yes. Not all at once, please, guys.
Juan offering your services?
That is a conversation that you can have with Juan, and I strongly suggest you do. Any questions at all? Anything. It doesn't have to be on the stuff just anything you think of.
All right. So here's my question, brother.
Yes.
What if you just don't, like for example with Instagram, I just don't feel it. So it's my thing. Like I'm not good at posting. I'm not good at kind of self-promoting or what have you. I just like to do what I do and then make it happen. But I know I've been told I need to post. So maybe the simple answer is you just have to do it. But how do you overcome that, maybe?
Yeah, great question. So there's two sides to that easily. If you really, really don't like some of this stuff, like it really isn't for everybody, hire me. Hire a person or get the help that is going to make it easy for you so it's not uncomfortable. But to get better at that stuff and to be more comfortable, I mean, don't go and look at my vlogs online because they're horrible, but maybe go back to some of Juan's early stuff. You can see how over time he just practiced and practiced and practiced. And when you look at the first one compared to the most recent one, it's night and day. It's like he's born with a camera.
Well, if you go to the very, 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 very first one, it's he's grown a lot.
But and it really does work. Right. It's just trying it, and I always like to just it helps to understand that like people aren't like not everyone's a hater. We all kind of judge ourselves much harder than everybody else does. So don't be self-conscious. Just post stuff on there. I mean, if you really hate it, take it down. And over time, it will get much easier. It'll just become second nature.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Here's what I would want to say towards that, right? Like, we're all selling something, whether you're in sales or not, right? Even if you're single, right? You're selling yourself to someone else. You might want to hook up, right? But here's the thing, right? So that was a
not a very good example.
So here's the thing. There's an app for that. Like for example, like, okay, so you sell houses, right? And you have a sphere of influence, right? So how do you target that sphere of influence? By calling them once a month, right? Social media, right? Like, what do people know you by? You're that person that every Friday night they can count on you posting a drink of your margarita, you're at the club, or you're that real estate agent that you're out prospecting, you're out helping the community.
What about the lady that threw the glass?
Did you guys see that video? There was a real estate agent that she was, it was a no renter left behind. She was at the, you did see that? So she went viral, right? I mean, she did something different. She crazy, right?
She
so
came out on the news.
For those who didn't see it, explain.
yeah, so there was this real estate agent that she's out of like the Downey area, and basically she has a,
She's at the park.
She has this campaign going on that's called No Renter Left Behind, right? So what she wants you to do is stop renting and buy a house with nothing out of your pocket. So she went to the park, and she was on top of a rock, very nice, right? She was having a glass of wine, so she sipped it.
Dressed very sexy.
Dressed very sexy. Well, I sell real estate, and I want you to buy a house, and I'm so tired of you renting. So, bam! She slams the cup of wine, and I want you to buy. Right? So look, it went viral. Like, I wouldn't do that, but she did it, right? I mean, that's her, really though, mad. Right? And maybe it's working for her, right?
It's a perfect example of be yourself and find what
fits you.
What fits you.
And not only that, I mean,
that was her personality.
The way she slammed, like she's very passionate about like stop renting, right?
Yeah.
Like, this bothers me. I want to help you. And a lot of people could have criticized her and said, you know what is she doing? Like, is she crazy?
Yes.
But it was a hit.
Mm-hmm.
And she got the attention, and that's what we want. We want to make sure like she's creating value for people, because I'm going to, show you how you're going to get into your home. Whatever it took, she got her point across.
Right, I'm passionate about what I do. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody watch YouTube?
Yeah.
Is there something that you guys watch, or is there like a? What do you guys watch? Like a
How to?
What would you? Because here's the example I want to see. Like, have you ever watched something so much that there's a certain personality that comes out, and they share themselves, and they kind of sell their product, and then all of a sudden you bump into them at the store, and I'm like, holy shit, that's Chris Burrows from Channel 5. You feel like you know them, right?
Yeah.
So like that's what at least that's what I'm doing, right? I don't want to be a YouTube celebrity, or I don't want to be like an Instagram model, which I probably couldn't do anyway. Right? But I want that
To
when
connect.
people think about mortgages, right? That they know that I do mortgages and that I'm at top of mind, right? Because I want to increase my odds, increase my chances, so that whenever they do decide they want to buy a house, they come to that person they know, right?